my skin, I don't know, but like between the consistent redness on my cheek and like sort of the blotchy redness in and around here, I think that my skin is just not necessarily very happy, which, ironically, that is what this sort of haul is all about. So, just as like a little tiny thing, wear sunscreen. This is kind of my check-in, but like, make sure that you're wearing sunscreen because, I don't know if that's my issue, but ever since I stopped using one of the products that I have, that I'm doing this haul about, that's when the blotchiness came back. And now that I can afford this stuff again, it's like, hey, I might as well. So, anyway, that's kind of like my mini check-in, but, essentially, today, I had work, and then, on my way home, I decided that, okay, I went to Starbucks to get a water. I understand, I used to be so confused at people who used to do that, but, I like completely get it now. Like when I was working there, it was like you just want a water, which is like completely and totally valid. To be sort of candid, it's do it. Your barista doesn't care, I guarantee. But I wanted to get a water, and then I went to Tim Hortons afterwards. I'm sorry, I know, I'm a Starbucks trader, but to be fair, the Tim Hortons quenchers are like way better than any refresher has ever been. Like, I despise the taste of all of the refreshers, not to be mean, but I don't know, there's it's the green coffee bean extract in them. It tastes like garbage. It's awful. It's like aspartame on steroids. It's that terrible aftertaste kicked up to 11. It tastes like dustiness almost, and like I can't do any of the refreshers. I also can't do the freeze-dried fruit in them. That stuff, anytime I had to put in dragon fruit into a Starbucks refresher when I would make them. No. Awful. The dragon fruit always gets like condensation or something dripped into it, and then it all just clumps up. And then the strawberries, they just turn into nothing. Basically, they're as flat as a sheet of paper, and they just turn into disgustingness. And then the pineapple chunks are like popcorn twists in the thing, and they would also clump up, and they would get this really atomic orange color. I can't. But the Tim Hortons ones are far better, so I am a Tim Hortons patron. Now, not that I don't like an occasional ice cap. I love an occasional ice cap. But they are killing the game on like the quencher, refresher front, kind of. But anyway, I have a haul to get to. So, that being said, this is a bit of a shorter video. It will include a lot of tapping. 2 of these items I purchased. One was a free gift from Sephora. But these are 2 items that were, I would say, like my first self-purchase of this year, which I'm very happy about. In the past month, I've gotten 2 books, and then, of course, these 2 products, which have constituted, like, my big purchases for myself this year that are, like, self-purchases, kind of. So I really have tried to get on top of myself of using what I have before I purchase something new, and then also trying to cut down on my spending, and I have very effectively done that because in terms of purely personal spending, of like things that I would enjoy, not necessarily need, I have been fantastic at that. I haven't gotten a video game all year. I've gotten now 2 books this year. I'm flying pretty high. I'm doing quite good with my spending goals. The only thing that I have really spent a lot on are my plants, but my plants are kind of a fruit fly, but my plants are kind of a non-negotiable in a way where, like, that is the thing that makes me happiest in this life. So I'm like, I give myself grace on purchasing plants, but really I haven't been buying too many houseplants anyway because I have so many already that I just need to focus on keeping them alive. So, like, I don't know, if you want advice from me about, like, spending and saving and stuff like that, before I would say don't take any of my advice. But since this has been working for me, like, find something that is worth it to you to keep yourself going. Video games, skincare, books, art supplies, plants, in my case. And find at least a budget for that. Like the plants, the indoor plants that I have spent on have cost me probably under $100 in 6 months, which again is fantastic for my previous year's track record. And then during that time, whenever you're trying to restrict yourself from spending, then just save up, figure out when you have the financial capability to purchase things, and then do it. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I know I have a good friend who was saving up for, I think it was like a wallet. I think she still is saving up for an LV wallet, and it's somewhere in the realm of $400 or something like that. And I don't judge people based on what they have, as long as you are smart about purchasing it or it's within your means. Go for it. I don't know. But like, just, I don't know, like I say, if you are trying to cut down on a spending habit or something like that, limiting yourself to that one thing that you know is going to consistently bring you fulfillment, and then every now and again you make little purchases like this. And I've been saving up for this since January, and I still have a lot more money now, at least, that I'm able to use for stuff like this going into the rest of the year. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a method to my madness. Maybe there isn't. Who's to say? Of course, this is not financial advice. But, first purchase is, it's already open because I've used this one. This one I've had for about a month now, so this is like a spread out Sephora haul. But this is the Fendi, let's see, will it not glare? There we go. This is the Fenty Beauty Easy Drop Skin Tint. Easy Drop Skin Tint. number 5 in most brands is often like off the deep end for me. Obviously because I am a Canadian of Welsh and Lithuanian and German and what's the other one? Ukrainian descent. So I am very white. Very thankfully I do not burn terribly. But this shade range is wonderful. My mom found a shade in this stuff, which she often cannot. Her skin is, she also has a skin condition, but she is generally like, she would use like shade number 1, like the lightest shade. If 1 is the lightest, she would use shade number 1, and it would still warm her up a little bit too much. She has very cool undertones. She has very just white skin in general, and then she also, every now and again, her skin, it's not translucent, obviously, but her skin's upper layer is quite thin, so she has to watch out for that kind of stuff. Again, she has a skin condition, but this stuff worked for her. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup, mostly because of her skin condition. It gets her breaking out, but this stuff would be what she would wear if it had like a moisturizing component to it. She only ever wears a tinted moisturizer. I think hers is from Clinique or something like that. But this is light to medium coverage for all skin tone, blends and blurs to instant perfection, light as air. It says on the packaging. This, I can confirm, this stuff is goddamn fantastic. You need like a very small amount of it. I enjoy incredibly light coverage. My usual skin tint is the Glossier skin tint, which I love also, but I find that I need to use a lot of product, and I was looking for something that gave me a little bit more sort of value for my dollar, and this stuff I heard was that. And like, first of all, it's huge. Like it's massive. I didn't look at the measurements, but this is 32 ml. I know for a fact that is larger than my Glossier skin tint thing. It's got a very tiny applicator, but again, you only need like the tiniest bit of it. Actually, a little bit just popped out. Makes really cool lid sounds. But anyway, like that, I would say is enough to cover a whole cheek. Yeah, probably a little bit more. It looks a little bit darker than my, well no, it actually doesn't. It looks perfect. In person it looks like it would be a little bit darker, but if I just blend it out, like, it goes on like you can't even see it. It's got a slightly mattifying effect, but not one that I would say like, it's not like, oh, this is your mattifying formula or anything like this. It just adds a little bit of warmth to my skin, and it covers up a lot of my redness. It corrects a lot. It corrects a lot, which I am quite happy about. You do not need a ton. Like I said, what I used there is probably enough to cover my whole cheek. It's fantastic. I would say this is going to last me a very, very, very long time. I also just like the formula. It is So, if you like, I'm talking like if you like moisturizer consistency and moisturizer lightness, go for the Glossier stuff, but be prepared to possibly need a couple more sort of drops than this. This does have a lot more of a makeup-y texture, but I'd say that that is a sacrifice that I have found I am okay with, and it's just really, really good. It's really nice. I'm not going to put it on right now because, of course, I've washed my face already for the day, but I did it a little bit earlier than I should have, but that's okay. I give myself grace. But the other pro of this, obviously, it looks really, really nice, but it makes the perfect tapping sounds on the lid, and especially on the bottle. It's just so, it's such a pretty package as well. I haven't used enough that that you get liquid sounds out of it. So good. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. I would. So, that is item number 1. Item number 2. This is the one that I bought today. This is a refill of the Fenty Skin Hydrovisor. SPF moisturizer. Okay. This I have not opened yet. But I have, this is my third one of this product. Oh, this is cute. Love your skin, respect the planet. Visit FentySkin.com for recycling and clean formula details. But there we go. Okay. So this is the refill of Rihanna's facial moisturizer called the Hydrovisor moisturizer. Basically, you slot this refill bottle into like the unit housing, and you don't have to throw away that unit, which is quite a heavy plastic unit. I think that's genius, first of all. Second of all, this bottle can be recycled at my local plant. Cheers to Rihanna for making something that is recyclable, that can actually be recycled. So many companies make things recyclable, research, but there's no ingredient on here that at least I can clock as a fragrance ingredient. But of course the packaging has great tapping sounds. Of course, the bottle. So, that is what I got today. I am very happy about it. Then, last thing, I got this as a free gift, so technically I didn't purchase it, but this little free gift is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I've never used anything from Tatcha before because it is hideously expensive, but I have heard good things. I am terrible at opening packaging like this. I usually rip it. The inside of the packaging is really cool. It also says something on the top thing here. It just says, beautiful faces, beautiful futures. I don't know. But this thing says, a rich cream of antioxidant-packed Japanese purple rice, hyaluronic acid, and replenishing nutrients that feeds skin with plumping hydration for a dewy, healthy-looking glow. It is, sadly, not very much. It's so cute. It's a very cute little pot of stuff. But, oh, it says sample, yeah. Dewy skin cream. Oh, and that's just what it says in French. Let's see. Oh. It's not much. It's a really nice color. It's also a nice smell. Honestly, it smells like sunscreen. I know that it doesn't have any SPF in it. Legally, they would have to say if it did. But, it's just this adorable little pot. I don't know. I'm excited to try it, I guess. I am lucky enough that my skin is not sensitive to, like, most fragrances. If it's really bad, then I break out. But, like, I can freely try new things and see if they work without it, like, throwing me all the way off. Thank goodness. But I'm excited to use it. It's cute. And that, I guess, kind of brings us to the end of a miniature Sephora haul. So, thank you for being here with me. Of course, do not go out and purchase these products if you do not want to. Especially the Tatcha stuff. I'll report back on how well the Tatcha stuff works, but Tatcha is, I would say, prohibitively expensive.